Have you ever had the same argument again and again? Different day, different topic. But somehow it ends in the same silence, the same tension. One person withdraws, the other raises their voice. One says, "You never listen to me." The other says, "You always make it about you." It's not about dishes or schedules or forgotten tasks. It's something deeper, something that keeps pulling you both into the same cycle, over and over again. Most couples believe they're arguing about the issue in front of them, the socks on the floor, the phone at dinner, the late reply. But in truth, those are just triggers. What you're really fighting about is the meaning behind it. Do I matter to you? Are you present with me? Can I trust that you care? Those are the real questions, but we rarely ask them directly. Instead, we protest, we criticize, we shut down, and the argument repeats itself. Every couple develops a pattern. One person feels ignored, so they raise their voice. The other feels attacked, so they pull away. Again and again, this dance repeats. No one wins, no one feels heard, and slowly, resentment grows. The fight isn't about right or wrong, it's about longing. A longing to be seen, to be understood, to be valued. But when we feel unsafe, we don't express longing, we express frustration, and that frustration is often misunderstood as rejection. So the cycle continues. Let's look beneath the surface. When one says, "You never help around the house," they might be really saying, "I feel alone, I feel overwhelmed, I need your support." When one says, "You're always on your phone," they might mean, "I miss you, I want to feel close, I need your attention." But instead of sharing the need, we throw the blame. And blame never builds connection, it builds walls. If you can learn to hear the emotion behind the words, you can change the way the argument ends. Behind every repeated argument is an unhealed wound. Maybe it's the wound of not feeling prioritized, or the wound of being dismissed. Sometimes what your partner says triggers something old, something that happened years ago, or something from childhood. A small comment becomes a deep cut. That's why the reaction feels so big, because the pain isn't just about now, it's about everything that came before. And until that wound is acknowledged, the cycle won't break. Our bodies remember what our minds try to forget. That's emotional memory. When you feel criticized, your nervous system doesn't just hear your spouse, it hears your past. The teacher who embarrassed you, the parent who never approved, the friend who betrayed you. So when your partner says something small, your body reacts as if it's something big. And without even realizing it, you're not responding to the moment, you're reacting to a memory. Healing begins when you can tell the difference. Under every argument lies this cycle. One partner feels shame, "I'm not enough." The other feels fear, "I'll be abandoned." Shame says, "You'll never get it right." Fear says, "Don't get too close." The result? Disconnection, misunderstanding. Repeat. Until you name what you're really feeling, you will keep reacting to what you're afraid of, not what's actually happening. All human behavior is an attempt to meet a need: attention, respect, closeness, safety. Arguments happen when our needs go unmet, and we no longer know how to ask for them gently. What you say as "you're so selfish" might actually mean, "I don't feel included." What sounds like anger might actually be a cry for closeness. The good news is, patterns can be changed, but not by controlling your partner. Change begins with noticing your own role in the cycle. Do you withdraw? Do you blame? Start by asking yourself, what am I really feeling? What am I truly needing right now? These questions open the door to connection, not conflict. The next time you're in a conflict, pause. Instead of reacting, get curious. What might my partner be feeling underneath this? What pain are they trying to express without knowing how? Curiosity builds empathy, and empathy is what breaks the cycle. Judgment shuts the other down, but curiosity invites them closer. No one can open up without safety. If your partner expects criticism, they'll hide. So create safety. Listen without interrupting. Reflect what you hear. Stay calm even when you disagree. Emotional safety is the soil where vulnerability can grow, and vulnerability is where connection begins. All couples fight. The difference is, do they repair? Repair means circling back and saying, "I'm sorry I hurt you." It means asking, "What did that feel like for you?" And truly listening. Repair is not about fixing the other. It's about showing up again. With softness. You don't have to keep having the same fight. With awareness, with practice, and with patience, you can create a new pattern. One that sounds like, "I feel hurt. Can we talk?" Instead of, "You always do this." One that allows both of you to feel seen, to feel safe, to feel close again. You can change the story. Take a breath. Think about the last argument you had. What were you really feeling? What do you think your partner was longing for? Healing doesn't start with blame. It starts with a brave choice. To slow down, to be honest, and to stay. Sometimes the most painful part of a conflict is what isn't said. The silence, the sighs, the turning away. We often underestimate the power of unspoken messages, but your partner can feel them. The disappointment, the frustration, the disconnection. "I'm fine" rarely means peace. It often means, "I've given up trying to be heard." The danger of silence is that it fills with assumptions, and assumptions can be far more hurtful than words. Healing requires the courage to say, "This hurt me," or "I need you," before the silence becomes a wall. Many couples fall into a pattern known as pursuer and withdrawer. One partner chases, asks, presses, demands. The other retreats, shuts down, avoids, deflects. The pursuer thinks, "If I stop trying, we'll fall apart." The withdrawer thinks, "If I stay, this will turn into a fight." Neither is wrong. Both are afraid. One of being abandoned, the other of being overwhelmed. Recognizing this dance is the first step to changing it. You're not enemies. You're scared in different ways. And you both want the same thing, to feel safe and close again. Love is not just about feelings, it's about regulation. Can I stay present even when I'm hurt? Can I pause before I react? Many arguments escalate not because of the issue, but because of how we manage emotion in the moment. Practicing deep breaths, naming your emotion, even saying, "I need a minute to calm down," can be more powerful than any solution. You don't need perfect communication. You need safety, regulation, and presence. I once met a couple who had the same fight every week, over bedtime routines for their kids. But when we explored the deeper layers, it wasn't about parenting at all. She felt unseen as a mother. He felt disrespected as a father. When they began naming their fears instead of their judgments, the conflict softened. "I'm afraid I'm not good enough. I'm scared I'm failing." That's where healing began, not in logic, but in vulnerability. If this episode felt familiar, you're not alone. The same fight, again and again, doesn't mean you're broken. It means your deeper needs are asking to be seen. You can learn to pause, to listen differently, to respond with grace, not defense. The cycle doesn't break overnight, but it breaks when one person chooses awareness. And maybe that person is you. Thank you for watching episode 2, Why Do We Keep Having the Same Fight? In episode 3, we'll explore the power of emotional safety and why without it, love can't grow. Until then, speak gently, listen with care, and remember, behind every argument is a longing to feel close again.